And what promises to be a long, hard, and extremely competitive day. What's the word here, Greg?
The word is Porsche, Lindsay. The Porsche 935 Twin Turbo has become the most sophisticated grand touring car in the world.
Just what is it?
A car sitting on the 8th row of the grid. It's the BMW M1, and they're hoped to make a dent in the Porsche domination of endurance racing. By the way, that car is number 3, driven by Jim Busby, Rick Knoop, and the gold medal decathlete Bruce Jenner.
The car is emerging from turn 12. Here they come under the bridge towards start-finish. There's 86 Peter Gregg, car number 6 John Fitzpatrick, number 93 Don Whittington. And the green flag is up, and we've got a race. It's number 6, number 86, number 93, and car number 30, the Italian entry driven by Gianpiero Moretti from Milan, a veteran racer and maker of racing accessories.
Incidentally, Lindsay, keep in mind that though we're concentrating on the big, fast GT cars, this is really a 3-category race. There are also the smaller engine GTO and GTU cars, and while they don't have a prayer of winning overall, they are competing for first place within their own class. Some old standbys on your racers show are racing in those categories. Lee Mueller, Dennis Shaw, Amos Johnson, George Alderman, Roger Mandeville, and Bob Tullius. Keep your eye on Tullius. He's driving that mystery car, the TR8, number 44.
We know all about Tullius. We saw him win his category in that car at Laguna Seca. And he sits in your chair as colorman every once in a while, too. What puzzles me, though, Greg, is why Sebring? Why come all the way out here to the middle of nowhere, where there are no grandstands, the fans can't really see the race, there aren't any conveniences for the racers, and yet 94 cars entered and 78 qualified. And there isn't even that much money at stake if you win, something like $14,000 for first place. There must be 1,000 other race circuits in the country more comfortable and more convenient.
One word sums it up, Lindsay. Remember what the Fiddler on the Roof sang? Tradition.
Sebring, of course, is the longest-running international road race in the United States.
Endurance racing at Sebring.
I'm Fitzpatrick and number 6, but Fitz doesn't like it. He's grabbing number 93, and Peter Gregg at 86 also moves up. And a report from the timers, Whittington just broke the race lap record with a 2:34.87. And the Porsche Turbo is beginning to pit for fuel as expected. Number 93 in, Don Whittington takes over for brother William. And now number 7 in, Heinrich out, Rutherford in.
You know, Lindsay, that's the BMW's ace in the hole with their new M1. It requires fewer pit stops for refueling. I talked to Busby about it before the race.
Probably what we'll do is we'll drop back maybe to 10th or 12th position for the first couple of laps. Then as the attrition starts to take over and we make fewer pit stops, probably by about the...
What do you think, Greg? Has the BMW got a shot?
It's hard to tell, Lindsay. You can't argue with a Porsche power, but the M1 is an interesting concept. Interesting, but unproved.
And somebody's in trouble out there. Car number 50, Mike Kaiser at the wheel of the Schulberg Corvette. No tire on the left rear wheel, and he's holding the car door open with his foot. What do you think happened there, Greg?
Probably the...
And the Sebring Rites of Spring Marathon goes on. Car number 86 now dominating the field. The 79 GT champion, Peter Gregg, at the wheel. One of the outstanding racers in the country. Battling off the onslaught of the Barbara Fitzpatrick duo in number 6 and the Whittington brothers in number 93.
Gregg's been black flagged for short-cutting corners, and so has teammate Hurley Haywood, but they seem to be missing the signal.
Will they get a penalty, Greg?
What they'll do is next time they make a pit stop, they'll hold them there for a few extra minutes.
There's action down in the pits now. 7 pits again. That'll be Ludwig Heimrath getting out. The German-born veteran racer now living in Ontario. And Carlos Moran, his co-driver, in as the crew tapes and welds on a new front. And out he goes.
You got trouble down there with car number 3, Lindsay. The BMW entry seems to be limping toward the pits.
A report from the M1 crew is serious. A broken transmission. Bruce Jenner at the wheel and doubtful if the car can be reactivated in time to be a contender.
Take a look at the smoke out there on the infield, Lindsay, as the racing fans begin to light up their barbecues.
And another report from the pit row, number 5, the car of Akins, Woods, and McKittrick into the tire wall. The pit crew out, pushing it off the track. As number 86 continues to lead, but number 6 moves back into the same lap with the leader. Do you think they can possibly get number 5 back into the race, Greg?
If I know the Charlie Mendez team, and I think I do, that crew will definitely get 05 back in the running. Mendez is the promoter of this race, is fielding 3 cars, number 05, number 5, and number 55. Charlie himself was racing in 5 with Brian Redmond, but he's out. And his number 55, by the way, has the only woman racer here today, Lynn St. James. So Charlie and his crew will make sparks fly to get 05 back on the track.
And as the sun begins to sink here in Sebring, Florida, the cars begin to turn on their headlights. Skeeter McKittrick pacing up and down, waiting for 05. And here it comes into the pits and seems to be in good shape. That's what I call fast work.
These pit crews are fantastic, Lindsay. Some of the racers say that a winning car is 90% crew and 10% driver.
And at the halfway mark, after 130 laps, the order, number 86 with Peter Gregg at the wheel. Then number 6, John Fitzpatrick. 4 laps down, 0, Danny Angayas. And 10 laps down, the Whittington brothers in car 93. But still an awful lot of racing yet to come. Let's take a break here as the strength, the stamina, and the endurance, yes, and the loneliness of the long-distance racer begin to get their true test. 12 hours of endurance in Sebring, Florida, what the racers call the granddaddy of all endurance. And as expected, many of the competitors out of the race, among them some of the real contenders. The number 5 car of Charlie Mendez and Brian Redmond, out. The number 4 car of Buzz Marcus, Bob Harmon, and Marty Heinze, out. The number 3 BMW M1 car of Jim Busby, Rich Knoop, and Bruce Jenner, out. The other BMW entry, number 25, out. The Italian entry, number 30, out. In fact, 32 cars have bowed to the flying macadam that is the monster they call Sebring. And the smoke getting thicker than pea soup in the infield as the wild bunch that makes Sebring its rites of spring begin to boil hamburgers and crack open the beer. It's sort of a two-ply. Drivers out there getting more exhausted by the minute racing for their lives, and their pit crews prepare to meet the dangers of the night as the track here at Sebring, Florida is in There's car number 6 coming in, and pitted next to 6 is car number 9, also a Dick Barber entry.
This isn't just fun and games for men like Dick Barber, Lindsay. Between him and his sponsors, there's $1.5 million of investment with 3 cars, sophisticated equipment like a computer, and a car. This is big business.
And car number 9 into the pits with racer Bobby Rahal getting out. Dick Barber, waiting for his own front-running car, but keeping his eye on his investment next door, car 9, running 7. That's Bobby Rahal, who carried the day at the Can-Am Laguna Seca shootout.
Well, down that brother. All over, man.
And it's blacker than pitch out there as car number 6 now maintains a 4-lap lead. Running second, car 0, the Ted Field Anian Gaius Interscope Racing entry. And here comes car number 0 into the pit. Ted is a 27-year-old racer from Newport Beach, California, who won IMSA's 1979 Most Improved Driver Award. By the way, he is Interscope Racing and a member of the Marshall Field family.
That's the kind of bucks it takes to go racing their way, Lindsay. It's just like I said. And of course, he's got a top racer with him, and Danny on the gas. Danny's 37 years old from Santa Ana, California. Danny's known as an extremely aggressive driver who won 5 USAC races in '78 and led every race he started.
Isn't that Don Whittington looking very grim in the pits?
Absolutely right. And talk about determination. There's no more single-minded racer in this business than Don Whittington. He's here to win. He and his brother Bill took the 24 hours at Le Mans and won the series championship of endurance, but he's running 3rd in this race, down 8 laps from number 6 and 4 laps from number 0.
Don't the Whittington brothers own Road Atlanta?
Among other things.
Bob Tullius, not in the GT class at all, but running 6th at this moment in his TR8. There's Dick Barber talking to Keys Neroff, who's racing in Barber's number 9 car. What do you think they're talking about, Greg?
Keys is probably telling Dick he's got a lock on the race.
Or maybe explaining why he's only running 7th.
7th isn't so terrible when even finishing is an accomplishment. But of course, that's all right to say when you...
I suppose he wants the thrill of riding it into victory.
Why not? He deserves it. His team won the last 2 Sebring 12s, but he wasn't racing. With that kind of time and money spent, no one can blame him for wanting to take the checkered flag if it's going to come his way.
And unless something very unusual occurs, that's exactly what it looks like will happen. There it is, number 6 into the pits. Barber rushing over the window. A tired John Fitzpatrick crawling out of the driver's seat as the big man climbs in. Looks like a little premature handshaking and congratulations going on in the number 6 pit.
Great job. Beautiful. And John Fitzpatrick plundered the car to a 516 miles an hour. From that point on the pole, kept the automobile for the most part of the 12 hours in the lead. They're looking now for the...
And the crew of number 6 are at the rail's edge, peering into the night, waiting for Dick Barber to make the sweeping hard turn right around turn 12.
Hard right turn. Final turn before the start-finish line.
There come the headlights, and we've got a winner. Number 6, Dick Barber, takes the checkered flag, and the 12 hours of endurance at Sebring is now history. We'll be right back to share the joys of victory with the survivors right after this.